Hello, everyone, and welcome you to our next XOAP live session today with the number 10. Yeah, once again with our CTO, Sinisha. Welcome.
Hi.
Yeah, today it's very hot outside, so it will be a hot session. No, I'm kidding. As usual, this session will be recorded and uploaded to our YouTube channel. So ring the bell, follow us on our channel, and watch the recording and all other tutorials, how-tos, and videos regarding our automation universe. But back to business today. What's new in our application? What's new in the universe of XOAP? So I will hand over to Sinisha and see what's coming up over here.
All right. Thank you very much. So, if I remember correctly, last time we went through scripted actions and talked a little bit about the news there. For
right.
Today, I have a few improvements from a usage perspective throughout the application. And yeah, maybe let's just go through it and check a little bit what we've done so far. So I'll just use one example here in resources. So all of those new areas that we added here, we added the possibility to enhance the usability a little bit in the details pages. So before you could only adjust and save the resources here or whatever you added tags or parameters. Now you're also able to delete it. And that's something that we added here for the usability. There will be another enhancement shortly to also close this a little bit to make this more clear from a usage perspective. Besides that, maybe I've shown it in the past, but I just want to point out. So if you create a resource here and assign it in one of our other modules, we have this assign to table here. So if you are unclear if you can delete something or remove a resource because you want to clean up your workspace a little bit, you have the possibility to check here if this resource, tag, parameter, or whatever is used somewhere throughout the application. And what you can also do then is, depending on what it is, from parameter, for example, or a tag, you can detach it from the resource to enable a little bit easier management from a central perspective. But if you go into the specific modules, you will also get like a notification that it is used somewhere and that you should take care that you just don't delete anything that's being used somewhere. That's just a shout out to this feature.
Yeah. Just to ask a question over here, Sinisha, you are showing this PowerShell script. So I can also edit the PowerShell script at this point. I do not have to download it and upload it again, so I can do it immediately in the front end.
Yes. And the cool thing is also, if you're in scripted actions and you go into the details of the scripted actions, the parameters that's being shown there, maybe I could just flip over and show that there to make it more clear. If I go into the details here, I can check the script, I can maximize the window here, and I can also directly add more parameters. And as I add them, they will also be shown in the overview so that you can directly add the value here and move forward without having to like download something or leave the browser or whatever. So you can do it.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. That's
inside of XOAP.
Coding in the front end. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, cool. And second question is, we see here it's tagged for Azure and it's specific for Azure, but we can also execute AWS and every other CLI and PowerShell script available in the community, right?
Yeah, that's just the example because it's an Azure CLI example here, so that's why it has an Azure tag. But that's also something that I can show here as well. We improved here adding tags as well a little bit. So in the past you could only add one tag. Now you can directly, if you didn't create them before, add multiple tags and assign them here however you like, give them a color, whatever you need, and add
Which
them
is
here.
Also important for multi-tenancy, so that we can assign tag to a customer, to an environment, to a product, to a technology, and then track it through the entire infrastructure and application.
Yes, yes. That's basically what you can then do in the central area here. You can see which tags are applied everywhere and see the combinations of what you assigned where. That's it from a little bit of the usage perspective. Besides that, if you are at tags, we should maybe also look at configuration management, because I think the last time I also said that we are working on integrating tags throughout the application. So now tags are also available in config management. So if I look at nodes, groups, configurations, you can see we have some demo tags here assigned to the different areas and the different resources. That's something that we've done like in the last sprint, edited here, and it will also be soon available in image management as well. In application management, we did it already. So I'm constantly adding the stuff here also in the other modules as we move forward.
Okay, cool.
Questions from your side?
Yes, we are writing a blog post regarding modular and layered configurations. Maybe you can give us 2 sentences about the blog post we are announced last days.
Okay, so good question and good topic. So if you look at PowerShell DSC, you typically, if I open up this kind of configuration here. So PowerShell DSC is typically a PowerShell script that you create where you add like multiple resources, and then you save it. This configuration is compiled in the backend, and you can apply it to a node. So if you want to add something, you go into this configuration and add again something. So now one of the questions we had was, how do I deal with maybe baseline settings that I want to apply to multiple groups or multiple customers, where I don't want to like multiply this in every configuration that I create? And there's a very easy solution for that. It's called a module. So basically, or a composite resource, which would be the better fit for here. But what you can actually do is you can create out of single configurations that you would create, you can create a module and create like a baseline module for your security settings. Then you could create another module for your, I don't know, remote desktop services settings, another module for user-specific settings or user-based settings that you want to apply also to different machines. And then you can combine all of those modules directly into one single configuration and just attach it to the configurations where you need it. So you play a little bit of Lego. And how we do this actually with our configuration wizard here is, if you want to add specific things, I think we have XOAP FS Logics DSC, for example, is a module that we created just for a special use case when you do something with FS Logics. And then you just reference this module, add it to this configuration, and you can, if you have a change, you just change the module, and then you recompile this configuration, you get a new version, and then you can just, I don't know if it's now clear,
Yes,
totally
definitely
clear what I mean. You don't have to rewrite the complete configuration and add this new settings to every configuration. You just change the module. And if it is integrated here, and that's something that we also did in the last sprint, we added this kind of information here so that you're sure which resources are from which module and which module version, so that you can track it better. And if you just change the module, re-upload it, it will have a new version then. You can simply go to the configuration that you want to upgrade, and we have this recompile function here. And when you click on that, your configuration will just be recompiled. I just did a right click, I guess. Yeah. So you see all the modules that are integrated in this configuration. And if you have a newer one that you uploaded here in modules, you will see that on the list. So it would be like 1005. You could select it, click save, and then you will get a new configuration with a new version with all the changes from the sub modules that you integrated here.
Nice. To summarize it just shortly, so that means if I have a baseline like we've seen in the last recompile pop-up, that can be a configuration for all of my customers or all of my devices, all of my Windows systems, and then extend it with specific use cases for FSLogix, for Citrix, for remote desktop services, and so on. And if I have a change only on one layer, I do not have to reconfigure everything. I just change the one layer or module.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, great. That's amazing.
Recompile it, assign it to the group, and you're good to go.
That answers my question totally.
Nice, thank you. And that actually led me also to the point to show what we improved inside the configuration wizard. So I showed it already, but here is a better example. Now you can see Windows Defender was used in version 1004. Networking DSC is integrated here. So we made it a little bit clearer for you, especially for larger configurations, to see which resources are coming from which module and so on. And that's basically the news that that I can show today. So we're still working on schedules, should be available soon, and node compliance history as well. So I'm pretty sure I can show it in the next update session.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty amazing, because as the community already knows, we are talking about not only deliver XOAP for customers, but also for MSPs and IT professionals. And we have also plans for education and public. And this is especially a great feature for MSPs, because now they can create the baseline config, assign it to all of the customers, and then they can change centrally one thing and recompile it for all customers. That's amazing, and that's a great change. So thanks for that, and for the community, stay tuned. We are in time, everything in 10-15 minutes. So next time, hopefully we'll see scheduling and see the node compliance history, which is an amazing feature, because you can see the status of the node in the last days and last communications, and maybe you can teaser it a little bit, Sinisha, and then it's enough for my side.
Okay, so currently we are showing the last state of a configuration. So if you look at the node and it's compliant, then it is the latest state that you see and which is applied. So what we will do here is, if you click on the compliance pill or non-compliance pill, we will open up a flyout where we would see the history of the last runs the node was applying this configuration. So based on the policy interval, minimum 15 minutes, you will get like the latest entries and see if there was a change in the compliance over the course of time. That's what we are currently adding.
Cool, nice. Yeah, thank you, Sinisha, for the insights. Yeah,
you're welcome.
Dear community, follow our channels. Have a look at our newest blog article and posts regarding layered and modular DSC configurations, regarding LDAPs with the DSC module we're delivering in XOAP. So check it out. We wish you a successful week. Thank you all. Thank you, Sinisha, once again, and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Have a nice day. Bye-bye.